so much. As already mentioned, we are out at Tambo International Airport, of course, waiting for the arrival of the African champions, Banyana Banyana. Joining me now, though, is a Sports 24 senior sports reporter, Kangiso Chwaku, also a sports analyst and commentator with SABC Sport. Kangiso, the one thing that a lot of people have been asking questions about, and there's been a lot of uncertainty, is the prize money for Banyana Banyana following their victory in this tournament. Can you give us a breakdown of that?
Good morning, V. Well, the long and the short of it is that in the conversation we had with the SAFA CEO, Tebogo Motlanthe, he said that the AFCON winnings, the WAFCON winnings, that is the $500,000, which when you convert into rands, 8.4 million rand, it will form part of Banyana Banyana's winnings. One needs to remember that before they left in June, last month actually, it sounds like it actually just 2 years before they left, SAFA dangled a 9.2 million rand carrot. So effectively, from the understanding that I had with the conversation that when I spoke to him, that 8.4 million will form part of the 9.2 million that Banyana Banyana are going to get. And in also speaking to him, he said they negotiated in good faith, and also that conversation took place before the prize money was increased. So the 400,000 rands that the squad members are going to get is going to come from that 8.4. So SAFA are going to find extra money to ensure that the players are fully paid. And they did also say in the conversation that I had with him that they're actually going to make sure that they pay the players immediately.
So basically what's going to happen is they're going to take the WAFCON prize money and then top it up to give the players about 400,000 rand each, and not that there is a 9.2 million plus the WAFCON winnings.
No. Because I did see clarity quite clearly on this matter, because I think that's the biggest question that a lot of football followers and a lot of South Africans are going to ask is that are they going to get paid a separate 9.2, and then what happens to the winnings? No, the pot that they're going to get from the winnings will be combined with whatever they're going to receive from the organization, and that will form part of the 9.2 million rand that they collectively will get from the organization.
Understood. And something else, I think, and you and I were chatting about it earlier, is just the lack of continuity when it comes to South African football. I mean, we saw Bafana Bafana in 1996 winning the AFCON, and then after there, things sort of dwindled down. What should be the focus now moving forward from a SAFA and South African women's football perspective?
Look, I mean, it took Banyana 6 attempts to win an AFCON. They had to lose against Nigeria 3 times. They lost twice Equatorial Guinea. So it is quite a breakthrough achievement. And unfortunately, human nature sometimes is to rest on your laurels and enjoy that success. But now they've got a World Cup to go to next year. They need to now relax, enjoy this moment, but also realize that they've got a very good structure in the Hollywood Bets League. They've got the SAFA, they've also got the Cecil National League. So now those two particular leagues now have got such an important role to play in that now that professional, the Hollywood Bets Women's League now needs to be fully professionalized to a point where players are paid, and also provides a conduit for players to move overseas, because the important thing is that the overseas-based players have had a big influence, but also especially when I spoke to Neil Tovey on Sunday, he said that what the Hollywood Bets League has done is to narrow the gap between the SAFA National League and the national team, because players would move from the SAFA National League straight to the national team, and that gap wasn't bridged. They often caught up with them at Olympics, it caught up with them at WAFCON, and now they've actually, with that particular league that was formed in 2015, the results of it are immediate. They went to the 2016 Olympics, they went to the 2019 World Cup, they were finalists in the 2018 WAFCON, they've won the tournament now, so the results of that are immediate. But now you've reached a high point, but you can't plateau now, because life is about evolution, life is about improvement. So what now SAFA need to do, they look at now, this works. Yes, we have a wheel that works, but how do we now make this wheel actually be better to ensure that South African women's football does not go or does not plateau and then have that gradual decline that men's football has experienced since 1996?
And as we talk about the World Cup, I mean, it's such a big stage, and we saw their excitement from Banyana Banyana in just qualifying for that. But we also ask ourselves the question, as WAFCON was taking place, we saw the Euros and we saw the level of competition there. How would you say we compare in terms of that standard and quality?
Look, it's difficult to say now, because I mean, look, European teams are better resourced. I think also the success of women's sports, women's sports in any country, is reflective of how women are treated in those particular societies. And one would love to think that in Europe, women actually do have a bigger level of success and a bigger role to play to contribute in those societies. I think what you see, especially when you look at Zambia, when you look at South Africa in particular, we have 2 COSAFA sides in the semi-finals, 2 COSAFA sides going to the World Cup. So it also speaks to the level of involvement women have in those particular societies. societies. In South Africa, women are breadwinners. They carry societies, they carry homes, they carry families. So now you're looking at the particular players who went through this World Cup. So some of them, their backgrounds you wouldn't know. They are big family members. There are families rely on them to take kids to school, to put food on the table. So the better the society becomes for women, it's become reflective of the sport. Look at the improvement that you're seeing in South African cricket, for example. Look at the gradual improvement you're seeing with Morocco, the women's rugby team. I mean, the South African national cricket women's team, they reached the World Cup semi-final. They were at the T20 World Cup semi-final just before COVID. They were actually semi-finalists again in 2017 at the 50th of a World Cup. So the more women are actually given, I won't say an equal footing, but the more the gender gap lessens, the more they'll be able to contribute not just on the field but off the field from an administrative perspective and and a coaching perspective. I think remember that this is the Banyana side is a team that is coached by a woman and actually went on to an A tournament of this magnitude.
And a woman who herself used to be a player. And we've spoken about how Desiree Ellis has really come full circle from being a player to being an assistant coach and being trained under Vera Pauw to now finally taking the bull by its horns. It really is a great moment, this, for her. And yet in it, she still wants to be so humble. And she says, it's not me. This is all about the team.
Remember that sport is a team cycle. You can be the best coach in the world, but if you are unable to get a harmonious and a functional environment going, what kind of coach are you? Another thing, that's one thing Desiree Ellis has done. She's bided her time. She's waited. When her opportunity came, she took the team to the WAFCON final in 2018. She took the team to the World Cup in 2019. What is the next step? Win the tournament. What will the next step be now? Because remember that goals are evolutionary. You can't now sit back and say, oh, okay, we've won WAFCON. Now, what do we do at the World Cup? Banyana Banyana now, they're the African champions. A lot will be expected of them when they go to the World Cup in New Zealand and Australia next year. They'll mean that Banyana Banyana, they exited at the group stage. More will be expected. What will happen? They need to go to the last 16. And they've got the players to do so. I mean, you had Mamelodi Sundowns ladies winning the CAF Women's Champions League last year. So already they are dominant not only at a club continental level, but they're dominant at a national continental level. And I mean, there were Sundowns players who contributed to that particular success. So it becomes important that success is built through to ensure that it just doesn't stagnate.
Indeed, of course, Kanyiso Chwaku, SABC sports commentator as well as analyst, and also Sports 24 senior reporter. Kanyiso, before you and I went into camera, we were singing a song. I want you to take us through that song, because this is the spirit that we're going to be experiencing here today out at the Tambo International Airport, of course, as we wait in anticipation for the champions of the African continent to arrive. Kanyiso, you're going to take me through it.
Yoha masambe no Siola lempeti asambe no Yoha asambe no Siola lempeti.
And that's exactly what will be happening here today. You can see the stage is set behind me. We are going to be receiving the champions of African football, Banyana Banyana. We can already hear the crowd behind me. There's drums, there's music. Really, it is the type of reception that they deserve.
Look, the queens, they are African queens. They are women warriors. They are the Wonder Warriors. They are the Wonder Women. They have arrived. They went to Morocco. They had a successful desert safari. They did what was asked of them. Speaking to the players when they were training at Linksfield, you could see the quiet determination. They were like, we are ready. We are going to go do the business. They did not speak in high volumes, but they were quietly confident. And once they beat Nigeria, I think one realized that was the one big threat that was put aside. And once that threat was put aside, the performances were perfect to imperfect, but no one will remember that. They've won the tournament. They were 400,000 Rand richer per player. But the most important thing is that as a team, they went to Morocco, Hilda Magaya, Mark Williams 2.0, trophies back.
And just as I wrap up with you, Kanye, so quickly, just on how the team took a mental coach with them out to Morocco. How important was that? I mean, we saw that stumble with Zambia saying they're going to CAF to complain about this and that. We saw that 9 minutes added on. How crucial was that mental coach?
The biggest battle in tournaments, sometimes when you're a team as good as Banyana, is the battle within the mind. how do you how do you quell your demons? How do you quell your fears? And mental strength is probably the thing that separates the good teams from the great teams. Banyana Banyana were a good team before they got there, but now that they've gone to Morocco, I mean, they went to the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium, a ground where Bafana couldn't beat the Morocco men's national team. They got there, they silenced that 45,000 crowd. I mean, that second Hilda Makaya goal, you could hear a pin drop. I actually said on Twitter, watch them burn the stadium, because you could sense that they were deflated. Yes, they did equalize, they could pull one back, but you could sense that Banyana Banyana were in control. And once you control your mind on the big stage, everything else teams falls into place.
Kanyisa, thank you so much. We look forward to celebrating with you this morning.
It's a pleasure.
And that's how we wrap it up here at the moment. We are out at the Tambo International Airport waiting for Banyana Banyana to arrive. They will touch down at about 5 to 10 this morning, so we are looking forward to that. There's a whole day of festivities planned out here, entertainment, DJs. We are expecting the Minister of Sport, the MEC for Gauteng, as well as SAFA President Dr. Dani Jordan. Thingism Africa, that's how I wrap it out here at Tambo for now. We take you through to an ad break and then more morning live coming your way thereafter. Stay tuned.
Enjoy the